ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர், செகண்ட், தேர்ட் இயர்ஸ் யார் யார் உள்ள இருக்கீங்களோ ஜஸ்ட் உங்களோட இது மைக் எல்லாருமே மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. எதுவும் ஸ்கிரிபிள் பண்ணாதீங்க, அந்த போர்ட்ல வந்து எதுவும் ஸ்கிரிபிள் பண்ணாதீங்க.
Good morning to all. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Till the good is better, better is best. Coming together is beginning, beginning together is progress, and working together is success. Happy morning to all. A hearty welcome to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to extend to you a very warm welcome on behalf of Department of Costume Design and Fashion for the second day national level workshop, virtual workshop on advanced fashion illustration techniques. Art is something that makes you breathe with a different kind of happiness. We are much elated to welcome our chief guest for the second day of national level virtual workshop, Ms.Dhanya Namboothri, fashion designer, freelance surface pattern designer and illustrator, Mumbai, who is working with various designers in India as well as international on project by us. Ma'am, now we hand over the session to you on the second day of national level workshop on advanced fashion illustration techniques. Ma'am, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So, welcome to today's class. I hope you enjoyed the session yesterday and practiced how much, like whatever possible for you. Unless you practice, it will not come into your hands. So, always remember to practice daily. At least take a half an hour of your time in a day, at least. So that will really helps you a lot while learning designing in college. That is the right time when you get that hold of the things, and later on when you get enter into the industry, then at that time, at that point of time, you may not be having that time to practice and sharpen your skills. Okay, so this is the right time to practice, sharpen your skills and be confident. Okay, so will we will today handle and talk and discuss and observe about different silhouettes, and we'll render it practically. Okay, so in your classes you may have learned different fits, different silhouette styles, and so on. So I may be repeating some of them because there are like the basics are never changing. These things are never changing. So there are some modifications, obviously. So I will first explain the basics, basic silhouettes, the fits, what all are the general fits. Like how is the shape of a garment? What is the meaning of silhouette? So then we'll proceed for some variations in that and how to render it practically. Okay. So, what is the meaning of silhouette? And even silhouette is mistaken pronunciation is happening like a lot. So it's called silhouette. So the silhouette means not dress. It's not a garment. मतलब it's it means the outline shape of any object. So, for example, if we place any object in front of the light, and from the other side, if we look, we can see the outline shape of the object. So, for any object, the outline, the whole shape of the object, that is called the silhouette. When we take the outline, just the outline. Okay. So, in garments, we always use this word silhouette. So, what is it? So, we have a lot of general silhouettes going on. Okay. So, I will turn my camera and start explaining. So I think you all have a pencil, some colors, everything as I told you yesterday. I hope you all are keeping it. Right. So be free to ask me anything or okay. So telling about the silhouettes, we are going to study the common ones first, right? The very simple ones, first we are going to talk. That's the shift dress. What is a shift dress? It's called SHIFT, shift dress. So shift dress is simple ones, like we should have a general idea of the cutting and stitching of the garment to understand the silhouettes. Okay, so a shift dress is not much flared. It's not a boxy one, but it's not much flared. Okay, so this is a basic shift dress. And then comes a box fit. How is the box fit? It's more rigid. The box fit is like, it's very boxy, as the word box. It doesn't has any much of curves. It even if as a top it comes, if it's a top, a blouse or top, when it comes like this, the silhouette is very boxy. That's why it's called box fit. Okay, so now you can understand the difference. So box fit is very rigid or very like a rectangle shape, or it's like a very geometric shape. And the shift dress is little flat compared to the box fit. Then comes the A line. From the shift dress, then comes the transition. So first the box fit, then you can think about the shift, then comes the A line. So this is a very common used garment pattern. For the A line, it's a bit more flared than the shift dress, and it commonly has a little more length than the shift dress. So that's a bit of difference between the shift and A line. A line can be a skirt also. A line skirts we wear. So it comes like this. Okay, so then comes the umbrella. So you can see there is a gradual transition of the patterns and the silhouettes. So if we take an umbrella, the cutting is cross. Till now, till this part, the cutting was all going in straight cuts. When we take the fabric is running like this, and we are cutting it in a straight pattern, either like this or like the vertical way. Like you may have learned warp and weft, right? So you may have the garment construction in your studies, right? So you know the straight cut, right? So these all are in straight cuts. So while taking umbrella skirt, or any umbrella pattern in the dress, what happens? The fabric we are folding and cutting in a cross cut, or it's called a bias, BIAS. So in bias cut, what happens? We get more of flare. Okay, so this is denoted like a cross, an into mark. This is generally denoted like this. So how we'll denote this one? We can denote any straight cuts as a simple arrow. These all are the things, technical things you may be doing in Flat rendering, this is called flats. Means, what is a flat? When we keep a garment on the floor or when we keep it for ironing, how we will lay the garment. It's not hung, it's just laid on a surface. It's laid on a table or just a floor, and that is called a flat. So this flat rendering, I'm not going for more technical details because we need to do the coloring and rendering part more today. Okay. So for flats, you may be knowing these arrow marks, like the notations, right? So in umbrella cut, we give as a cross. That means a bias cut. So in umbrella, what happens when we render it on a croquis? Now we are gradually moving towards a croquis side. Like what I mean today, like I am coming to teach you like the rendering part or illustration part of it, right? So while illustrating it, how the umbrella will come? It will fall on the body, right? So it will create more of a wavy structure like this. And we can see the inside part like partially visible. So this will be the look of the umbrella skirt when we have a body and somebody is wearing it. So now you can understand that you have a lot of flare in the down like hemline. Okay. And here there is no flare at all because of the pattern. So coming gradually to another silhouette. Now we'll move forward. You know normally how the kurtas are made? We all wear kurtas, right? So kurta, kurti. So these comes under the tunic category. So these are generally called tunics. So you all, as you all know, this is a very rough sketch I'm making now. Just to have a idea. Okay, so just to explain it to you. So tunics may have a little bit of slit over here. Okay, and it has darts over the sides. You know how to represent the dart, right? So on flat sketch, you can have a slight marking over here to show a dart here, or if you have any contouring over the sides, like the princess line, there you can have a dart like this. So this becomes the tunic. Then there is another pattern called princess pattern. Even in blouses, it works it very well. So in dresses, when we take dresses, it has a good shape and good volume in the down, and it comes through the princess line. Even in dummy, you may be having dummy in your college, right? So in dummy, you can observe there is a mark over the going over the bust line. It cuts the bust line and it passes through the apex. So those two lines are princess lines. So when we cut the garment and we have a lot of flare and we have panels. So what happens? Here there is more of flare, and gradually going up, it has a good shape. So this is a lot preferable pattern. Okay, so even in blouses, you can see there is princess cut blouse. So it gives a very neat and clean finish. This is very much in trend. So we have the princess cut over here. That's why it's called princess blouse. Then coming to another pattern, we'll see what's the sheath dress. S-H-E-A-T-H, sheath. Sheath means it's like bodycon. It's fully touching the body. It's body fit. it just goes through the curves of the body. You may be seeing a lot of Western dresses in sheath pattern. So most of these dresses comes in a slightly elastic fabric, or even the suit fabrics. You can see the suit fabrics, those are really durable and mostly used for formal attires for ladies. Or you can see even the blazer fabrics, these are slightly elastic fabrics. So these are mostly wrinkle free, and due to the elastic nature, this fits very well on this. Those kind of fabrics works very well on the bodycon dresses. Even hosiery fabrics, those also are used for making bodycon dresses. If those fabrics are very not that kind of stretchy, what we do, we give darts across the midriff. So these are called midriff darts. So these darts we contour and make it body fit. So this silhouette is called the sheath dress. And now, coming from this silhouette, something similar I'll be going. That is the tent. We have seen tent, and we use tents for some picnics or outings, right? So tent is what it's like it's having a peak and a lot of fabric down, okay, and it's having a vast, huge area in the hemline. So how the tent dresses comes with a lot of volume. There will be minimal space, minimal just the pattern will be there over the neckline, and the shoulders and armhole will be cut. But then it directly goes over all the way. So it is like a lot more fabric and lot more volume. So this is a tent dress. So you can see some things from tent dress, some things from princess cut. These are used in anarkali dresses, right? But the old anarkali pattern is little different. It is having an empire line. I will show you. So after the era of that olden times of even in Bollywood, we have seen those anarkali patterns. But nowadays, a lot of brands, contemporary brands, use the princess lines or the tent pattern for showing their even putting their the anarkali dresses, they say, because these are going to very well fit in the ethnic dress styles. So this is the tent. So I told you about the empire line, right? Empire cut. What is empire pattern and how it differs from the other? See, this much we have the blouse area, the yoke and the bust. After that, it just flares it out. So when the partition is here, it's called empire pattern. Okay. So the olden times, I told you, in olden anarkalis and all, we have commonly used this pattern, and we had long sleeves and churi sleeves. Like there were a lot of like length churi, right? In churi bottom pants and all you have seen. So those patterns were used in sleeves as well. And this can be an umbrella skirt also. So when the pattern cut comes over, like just under the bust, that's the difference creating empire line. You may be knowing high waist and low waist, right? So high waist is Should I explain it, or once I will roughly show you? No matter. So in high waist, as the word says, we can see a lot of like high waist pants or high waist skirts, or even in high waist dresses, what happens? The waistline is little high. That's it. So the dresses can be different type. Even there can be a high waist denim pants, like, so it is really high rise or high waist, it is called. And then comes the crotch and the pants like this. So this width will be more, and it will be covering till the high line of the waist. That's why it's called a high waist. So if this is the high waist, then what will be a drop waist or a low waist? It's called drop waist also, or a low waist. So in drop waist dresses, in a lot of Western dresses, you can see this pattern. It's little down, and here it can be multiple things. It can be a layer, multi-layer tire skirt, or an umbrella attached. So this pattern can vary, but when the waist is here, see the silhouette like this and little down, then it flares it out. Or however, it can be even a simple dress like this. So this is the thing creating drop waist. Okay. Are you all following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now we can see some commonly used patterns in gowns. Okay, especially we see in gowns, but it can be on a skirt also. There is a bit confusion always. What is a trumpet pattern? Trumpet and mermaid. These two are very similar. It looks similar and it confuses people that is this a trumpet or this is a mermaid? Or mostly the people say that it's a mermaid pattern. But there is a slight difference between trumpet and mermaid. Okay, so what's a trumpet pattern? From the waist, I am showing it in a skirt. Okay, so this can be a gown's skirt portion of a gown. Okay, so, or just a skirt. So I am showing the skirt part of it. If this is the waistline, this hip area, we are coming down, and from the in between, like a mid area, from the knees, it is just flaring out. So this is simply called trumpet. Then what is mermaid? We have always told this is also mermaid. Okay, like we generally confuse. So in a mermaid pattern, what is the difference is that it lowers down a bit more and then flares exactly like a mermaid. So even in gowns, you might have seen a lot of gowns. We use this pattern, mermaid pattern. And this trumpet pattern, we have seen more in some skirts, like ethnic skirts also we use it, like a 3-paneled skirts like this. Okay. And this can also be done like, if not in panels, it can be cut from here. And from here, it can have a lot of volume. or it can have an umbrella cut over here. This can be a straight cut or a paneled skirt, and this can be an umbrella skirt. So this is like a combination of paneled and umbrella, or it can be just a paneled one. This can also be a paneled one. So that depends upon the cut of the garment. So in general, you need to know like how is the cutting, how is the stitching. Then comes like, so the idea will be holistic. So then you will be able to show the master after your studies, if you are appointing someone, or if you want to explain to the master like how is the client's demand, or how is the cut needed, you will have to show him like the simple flat sketch is required, and more of like explaining the technicalities, like how this pattern should be cut. So after the trumpet and mermaid, we can examine what's a ball gown. It's having a lot of volume, right? So that skirt portion we are taking has a tiny waist and flaring from with a lot of gathers, with a lot of layering. It looks flouncy like whole way around. It's very volumistic. It may have a lot of like multiple layers inside, like the Cinderella gown. That's a very common one we see from the childhood, right? So that's a perfect example of a ball gown. So while sketching these ball gowns, I will show you like how to render it. Okay. So there comes the ball gown. Yeah. There is another common fit. It's a balloon. Or it's also called blouse-on. So there is slight differences between balloon and blouse-on. In blouse-on, it's like a blouse out. We normally wear when wear any tops, any Western tops, what we do, we insert it into the jeans, insert it into our pants, and a slight blouse out we do. Okay, so that is the look of blouse on pattern. So it mostly comes on jumpsuits. You can see a lot of jumpsuits in this pattern, like the mini jumpsuits, or even a dress. It can be a dress also. So here is the difference of the silhouette happening. It's coming out and it's a loose all over the upper area. Okay. And it can have an elastic over here or a waistband. However, mostly it has a dory or an elastic. It can be like tied over here, or it may have an elastic over here. So this is basically blouse-on. But in balloon, this also looks balloon. But in balloons, we have normally not only this fit, we have a lot of skirts, balloon skirts, or even kids wear. We have a lot of kids wear in balloon pattern. Its skirt part may be having a balloon pattern. Even on sleeves, we can see balloon sleeves like this. So this can come on sleeves also. Same as the word say, it's like a balloon. So what happens in this cut? The inner fabric, the lining, or the one fabric which we are attaching to this outer layer is comparatively less of length. Okay. So, and it is attached to the main fabric. So what happens when we stitch it to the waist? The lesser fabric pulls the other fabric upwards. So that gives the balloon effect. You got it right? The inside fabric will be lesser in length and it will be attached to the hemline. So the hemline is closed. Like hemline is like, it's not just like open. The hemline looks like this. Both the lining and the real fabric, the main fabric will be stitched from inside so that it is very clean and neat. So what happens is the lesser length one, the inside fabric pulls the main fabric a little bit upwards. That's why it's giving that a balloon effect. So this is a balloon skirt. So blossom. We will see what is a baby girl, baby doll, or it can be told a baby doll pattern. What is it? You may have seen in a lot of Bollywood movies, songs and all, like Katrina Kaif and all wear it a lot. So it actually look like a Barbie doll dress. It has a bustier here. It's like a bustier and it's attached to the flare skirt. The flare skirt comes in the bottom. So it's like a fit and flare. It is fit and flare, but it's called a little slight difference. That's a baby doll because it's a very short dress. Then it ends till the thighs and then comes the legs. So it comes like this. If here is our knee, it ends like till the thighs. It can be very short. So that is the baby doll dress. And there is another pattern commonly called as slip dress. Slip dresses are generally used like a sleeping dress, or casually we use it in our houses, or it's the slip dress. It has thin strands or like a spaghetti strand, and it's slightly loose fitted. Mostly it has a slit over the one side. It has a slit over one side. It can has, or what is a pattern? Another pattern is it can have a pull over one dory over one side, so that it has a droopy style over here, and it has a cowl over here. You know the cowl, right? The cowl pattern. So there may be a cowl and again some cowls over the front and back. So basically it creases out here. So these are generally the patterns of slip dresses. Simple, and it's moreover, we can't say it an A-line, or we can't say it's a boxy fit. This is the fit of slip dresses. So we can see what's a peplum. This is a very common pattern, and it gives a very nice shape. It's very much used in formal dresses. It has an umbrella attached to the waist and has a pencil skirt structure underneath. So this is like a combination of pencil umbrella. Okay, so this attachment makes the style called peplum style. Even a lot of blouses, we nowadays try peplum style blouses. So for that, there will not be a pencil skirt. The blouse will be only this much, and it can have a sleeve or without sleeve. So that is the peplum is the skirt pattern, like an umbrella skirt pattern attached on the waistline. So that makes it peplum. Okay, so now we have seen a lot of general patterns, general structures, that how like we learn the very basic things. Okay, so now we need to start some rendering part, how we can render some different kinds of pleats. So while talking about pleats, the general pleats are like box pleat, inverted box, then comes the kick pleat, accordion, or even knife, accordion and knife. It's the same. Okay. So for the box pleat, we are taking all the pleats on a skirt pattern, because it's a skirt that we make use of these pleats. And it can come on the top also while mixing out patterns. But generally, we use it for like skirts. I'm taking a mini skirt to show that. So for box pleat, what happens? The fabric goes over here and goes underneath, and again goes over here and come like this. It goes the whole way till the midpoint. So this one box, that is this is one box, and it turns again over here. Okay, so again like this it happens. It creates a boxy structure. That's why it's called a box pleat. What is inverted box pleat? That I need not show, because when this is a box and this midpoint is called the inverted box. Simply. The opposite of box, that is the inverted box. If we even turn the fabric, like turn the skirt around, the opposite side of this box is going to be inverted. Or if we see here, if this is a box and this is a inverted box. But how is it used in normally any garments? In sports garments. In sportswear, we use a single inverted box. How it looks? Like the fabric comes here and goes over the back. and it creates an inverted box here, like this. So in mini skirts, you can see the hockey players and all. So they use mostly the inverted box. So it looks this much only. This is the way it looks, but when the skirt is worn, it has just a mark over here, like a single pleat over here. So there will be fabric going underneath like this. This is the inverted. So in sports garments, sportswear, etc., we can see the inverted box commonly. Otherwise, we normally use box pleat in our uniforms, but inverted box is this, like the opposite of the box. But we generally use it for the sportswear, like a single inverted box we can see on a skirt. Only there will be just a single pleat. Okay, so there is a common pleat called the knife pleat or accordion. It's equally length, equally in width, like it will be just going like this, looking like a knife. The edges will look like equal in width. That's why it is knife pleat. Then what is a kick pleat? Kick. We generally see kick pleats on Western garments, Western like a pencil skirt. If it's a pencil skirt, in the back, there will be an attached pattern. Like there will be a godette. Godette, what's a godette? Godette is an insertion, like another fabric inserted, extra fabric inserted in between two fabrics. So it will be stitched and it will have an ease around this portion. It will have little ease for walking. The pencil skirt, if it's really narrow, there should be a little ease to walk, right? So for walking, there will be a little ease over the back side. So this element is called the kick pleat. Even for this kick pleat can be seen on menswear. On the back of the jackets, in the vintage time also, from vintage times, we can see there is a single slit over here. So that's not a slit, it has a insertion. If this is the back of the jacket, you can see a structure like this, or even two pleats over here. So if this is a blazer or a jacket, formal jacket of menswear, so you can see these kinds of kick pleats, either single or two over the back. So those are the kick pleats. Okay, so now we will start some fold. We can study what is a fold, like different kinds of folds. So what is a cascade? Cascade, or it is also called waterfall, right? So for drawing a cascade or waterfall, we can apply this on a skirt and see. But before that, how to draw it? Just draw like wavy, curves, and join. This is commonly seen on skirts or any dresses. Like an asymmetrical skirt, it can be, and it can have a cascade effect over the sides. Okay, so this is how to draw cascade waterfall. Then how to draw a ruffle? Ruffle and gathers. These are really confusing. So what is a ruffle and what is a gather? In commonly we see gathers more on kids wear or even any western tops. So for gather, what we do is we have a long strip of fabric cut in equal width and we pull over one side. So the gather can be represented like one long, one short, one long, one short, like that. Small tiny lines, a lot of tiny lines attached. So, and the fabric here comes like this. So a gather can be shown in this way. But what is a ruffle? Commonly, sometimes mistake happens that ruffle, we refer ruffle for this. But a ruffle is actually circular cut. It's a bias cut. Like if we take a square fabric, we cut it like a strip forming circular pattern. So if we take this strip, like this is the strip. If we take this strip and keep it long, like keep it straight over a side, how will it look? It will create waves. And here, nothing will be there. Here it will be plain and here it will have a wave. So this is achieved by cutting the fabric like this. We are cutting in a circular motion. And whatever fabric we get in this line, and we are taking the fabric over the straight line and we are attaching it over a skirt or bottom hemline of a top or anything. So this is a ruffle and it has more of volume at the hem and no any creases over the top. So in the ruffle itself, if we give gather, it will look like more of volume. It will create gathers and it will have the ruffle effect. So the ruffle can be gathered also. It can be combined together. So this is the difference between ruffle and gathers. I think now now we have covered a lot of different types of silhouettes, general silhouettes, and different types of pleats, gathers, etc., etc. So now we'll see how to render some of them. Okay. First, we will see a simple one. That's an umbrella skirt. So you're going to color. Be ready for that. I'm just creating a skirt over here. Small skirt. A mini umbrella skirt I'm creating. So in umbrella skirt, like the ruffles, we can see there is no creases over the top and there is a more of volume on the hemline. So now we can start coloring. Taking the simplest K colors like I showed you yesterday. Take any color. How do we color it? And just leaving a bit of lighter spaces in between. And I'm just merging. Okay, so the first wash is done. This is the first wash, the lighter wash, and still I am having some lighter and darker portions here so that I can make it out. Where is the dark and where is the shadow area? So that gives more of a natural effect. Now I am taking that color a little bit more, or you can mix with any other opposite color to give the darker shade. So this is going to be the depth areas. Just merge it. You are almost done. So we can just define a little bit over the hems. This is the fabric underneath. So we can partially see it a little bit over here. Since the skirt is bouncy, this portion is visible a little bit. Just give some strokes. I told you, how to practice strokes and how to practice more of lines and simple movements with your hands. So that will help you a lot in rendering also. Since this is a lot wet, I am not able to give a bit more darker shade here. So this is the shadow effect which we get on a umbrella pattern. So if there is a tired skirt, what's a tired skirt? It has multiple layers, right? So I will show you a tired skirt given in the same technique. See, this is a tired skirt. It has These are multiple layers, but it's all a umbrella pattern going on. You can see it's a cross cut, bias cut. So the umbrella layers, there are multiple layers going on here. So the same way you can repeat for different layers, like keeping different layers. So the shadows is appearing on the other layer. The upper fabric is making shadow over the down layer. So this way it creates the light and shadow effect. And you can see all the highlighted areas over here. The bouncy areas are highlighted. Now we can see some waterfall effect or cascade effect. I'll take a skirt portion. So this is going to be a combination. Okay. You had, what's the noise going on there? Can you just, yeah. So you have studied the trumpet pattern and the mermaid pattern, right? So this is like a trumpet pattern. And from one side, I'm attaching the waterfall effect. So either this pattern can be a continuation of this fabric or even a different fabric attached. Catherine, what's the noise? Some disturbances going on. Thank you. So I'll take another color for showing this. So for drawing this, I have just attached a cascade over a trumpet shape skirt. Can just give a full shade over the skirt, lighter shade. I'm leaving a little lighter spaces in between. So now the first wash is done. Moving on the second wash. So I'm adding a little darker, the same color in between. So this is the fold. So it is creating a shadow over here, shadow over here. So this is like this. Now I can just merge it. I'm still maintaining the lighter areas, like the highlight areas. I told you yesterday, right? So in watercolors, this is the general technique that we follow, that we use the paper white for the lighter highlight areas. So I'm still maintaining some highlight areas as a paper white itself. So the highlight areas you can see here and over here, some portions. And then now comes the darkest part. I am taking a brown and blue mix. Yesterday I had shown you how to make the black. Brown plus dark blue, like the Prussian blue. I'm just mixing it together to have a darker tone. That darker tone, I'm just putting a bit of hint of darker tones here and there. And later on, I will merge it together. I'm getting shadows over here, right? So there I'm making it little more darker to show the shadow. You should just imagine where from where the light is falling. If the light is falling from this side, this is creating more shadow over this side. So the light is falling from this side. So I'm having more of a darker tone over this side. So light and shadow is one important thing while rendering anything like croquis or any garment. To give it more of a natural feel, you can just imagine from where the light source is. So this is it. Very quick and very light and easy method in watercolor. So this is how you can give a cascade effect with watercolors. I'm not darkening this part because of the light. Okay. And I have darkened this part since the light is falling from this direction. I think you have got the point. Is it all okay? Guys, are you doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so now I will show you a pattern which is more of a seen on Western formal garments. It's a combination. I told you, no, the common pleats, common patterns we have discussed, but some are like advanced, or it's a combination of some things together. So these permutation combinations make a lot more different designs in the world. So there are very few basic things, and when we combine this to that and that to another one, so this permutation combination we have learned in maths, right? So permutation combination we say, so A into B and A into C, and again we can do B into C. So there are like multiple things like trying out with simple basic things and combining different things together. So this create different patterns. So now I'm going to show a mix of pencil skirt, and it has a interesting element, pleats. This is a pencil skirt itself, but it has a bit of pleats over the waistline. I'll reduce one pleat. 1 second. Fine. So this pencil skirt has a pleat pattern. Some pleats attached to the waistline. So on the construction, how this is constructed? The narrow down hemline shows that there is no fabric excess here. But these pleats show that there is an excess fabric here. Okay. So that's the technical part. I'm not moving much technical here, but you need to understand like how it's made. So still I'm leaving some highlights. Now the first layering is done. So on the waistline, I'm going to add a little bit of shades here so that the pleats are more clear. So this is the additional pattern over the skirt. So if this is the pattern, you can show it like this. Okay, so these are the pleats done on the skirt. So this much of shading is enough to represent these pleats. Now we can see an interesting pattern, including a ruffle on a top, like a big ruffle on a western top, or even this comes as a part of a gown also. But I will show the top portion so that you can just render the top portion and finish with that. So this is going to be an asymmetrical cut. So you know it's an asymmetrical cut means not like same on both sides. So this is basically going to be a top. And on one shoulder, I am going to attach a ruffle, big ruffle, or it can be told as an umbrella cut or a bias cut on the shoulders. So the shoulder part is this. This is the bust area. This is the shoulder. Attaching this over here. So what happens? It turns. Just draw wavy lines. And the other part inside, you can see the other part inside. And what happens here? The fabric is turning, attached like this. So what happens in visibility? It comes like this. like this. And now it turns from here. It goes like this. Little bounce over the sides. And the body, you can see here. This can have a dart over here. This is a bias cut portion, and this is more of a straight cut. So we can color this and see how it comes out. Have you all drawn it? I did one thing yesterday to reduce the carbon, right? Since I had made more of carbon marks here, I'm just reducing it by the kneaded eraser. I'm just rubbing. See how much it is reduced now. Now I can color it. So we need a very light mark over the paper, right? So I'm just reducing the carbon. Now I need not have an eraser. With the kneaded eraser, I have just reduced the color of the pencil. Yeah, so now I can color it. So for a change, I'm taking a different color. I'm mixing. I always, when I need something like a peach color, light blush pink color, I mix pink with a little bit of white. So you can try it out. I already told you it's not a perfect thing to use white and black in our watercolor rendering generally, but for illustrations we can be like experimental. We can be very flexible. So I'm mixing a little bit pink and white together to give that opaque effect or a solid garment effect. So I'm just, as I said, I imagined this light is falling from this direction. Okay, so this part is more over dark. Just keep in mind what are the highlight areas and then cover the other areas. Then I will be merging it together. Now I'm doing is like a mid-tone I'm giving first and then going to the lighter tone merging. So I generally do the lighter tone first, but now I have done is a mid-tone. Now I'll be merging it. Then I will get the right intensity of the color. Now you can gradually see how the light effect is happening. So now this is halfway done. Now for a darker tone, I can mix a little bit of black or blue or any other, like a little comparatively darker shade together so that I can have a shadow effect. I have mixed a bit of black into this pink. Not much, a bit. So that's it. I am just going to merge it together. Yeah, so this is done. Now you can understand from this sketch is that the fabric is going a lot inside. This has a lot more depth, right? Than this. And then this has more of depth because the fabric is bias cut. So what happens, it has a lot of volume going inside. This can't be seen here, but fabric is going inside and coming back and then again going inside and coming back. So this is turning and creating more of a bouncy effect. So the inside fabric is visible here also. Tried this. How is it going, guys? So this, if you have achieved, then you can give a simple one also very like easily. So this is a little bit of tricky one. Did you do it, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well done. We'll try something like a balloon pattern. How to render, because balloon patterns we don't generally do much, right? So we'll try it out. We'll try some balloon. We'll try some balloon sleeves. 1 second. Yeah, so balloon sleeves we can try. So this is shoulder. The same like the top, we are going to take the portion of the sleeves and a partial bit of a top. So this is the silhouette going to be. It's like a balloon. So it is attached over here. This is the princess line, or this has a cut over here. The top is having a dart over here. Top is inserted. She's inserting the top inside the skirt. So we can see the part like this. And this is our sleeve. So it is very bouncy, lot of volume. Then what happens to show the bounciness too much? Our hands should come from inside, because then only, yeah. So hands are coming from inside, and this volume stick area is going around like this. Okay. And what happens, how to show it? In the other side, the fabric is all over like this. We can't see the hem line or any like lines here, because as I explained to you earlier, it is attached to the underneath layer and it is pulling inside the main fabric. That's why it's having the bouncy effect and the balloon effect. So there is no line visible as such in balloon pattern. Okay, so you can draw just like this. And I am again decreasing the carbon. I just showed you with a normal pencil so that you can see. Otherwise, I told you, no, I am using the mechanical pencil for the fine illustrations. But since it should be visible for you people, so I took the normal dark black pencil. So I have wrapped. So you can see this sleeve is coming till the half length of the actual length is till the half length, till our ankle. And if we need to draw the hands over here, can just complete it like this. The waist, the wrist can be thinner. Yeah, so this creates a beautiful hand and a beautiful sleeve. Shall we render it now? I will show you the skin rendering first. We did it yesterday. I don't know you have practiced it or not, but anyway, we will try it again now. So I told you I mix a lot of colors together. I have mixed now a little bit of pink left over here with some yellow ochre. We can even use little brown. So lightly I'm dragging the brush with the thin stroke. Then I'll be merging it. Leaving a bit of lighter area, bit of highlight. Okay. So now you can see like shadow is here, light is falling from this direction, and it is having a little darker, comparatively darker space over this side. So till the elbow, you can see the bouncy sleeves. After getting it dried, I will give one more wash to the skin color. For this sleeve, I am taking a different color. I'll take a blue. I'm taking a very light shade so that the effect of the garment is like very light. It's like an organza fabric, or not even organza. It can be a satin also. Can be taffeta, like that. See, the first wash is done very simply. This is like a dress, or even this is a skirt or something you can imagine. So this is the first wash. On the skin, I am taking a little darker shade. I am mixing a little bit of blue in the brown to get a darker shade. And at the elbow, I can't see much, but inside that, I am just giving a bit of darker shade. It's like a shadow. This sleeve is giving a little shadow over the elbow, and then dragging it towards the palms, bit towards the finger. See, I am using the same brush. I'm using the point of the brush. So these are the light things, but while practicing, you can use the simple strokes which I told you, so that you get more flexible with tiny strokes and using the tip of the brush. You can merge it a little bit. Not much. This is the shadow, so I don't want to merge it too much. So the shadow is created by this fabric over here. Okay. So now I can take a bit more darker shade. I'm mixing a bit of black to the blue so that I can have a shadow effect. Yeah, so my brush is loaded. Here it is a little tricky. We need to think that this is the inner portion and this area is the outer. So we need to leave the outer space a little lighter. We need to just have some strokes like this. That's it. So here, if you need a little bit more of color, you can give. So now this clearly shows where is the light and dark areas, right? So this is like a bit more darker here. This is the inside part. Okay, that's why it's more darker. If you want, you can just merge it over this side and leave it like that. So this is the balloon silhouette that you can try in particles. Are you done? The same sleeve you can do in a little different way also. Like the upper portion more bouncy, and you have heard about the Lego mutton sleeves? In Lego mutton sleeves, how is the silhouette? It's slightly same but slightly different. It is bouncy over here. It is a puff sleeve over here. And it's kind of balloon effect over here. Then it narrows. The sleeve has attachment over here, and it narrows. From the elbow, the pattern changes. It's a fitted sleeve over here. So this is a Lego mutton sleeve. And vintage garments, vintage gowns, you can see a lot of this pattern. I'll first, I have the blue color on my bread, so I'm just giving a bit of green touch also. Greenish bluish color I'm taking. And I am going to render this. Just simply put some strokes and leave some lighter areas, or you can even merge it a little bit. This is the Lego mutton sleeves. I will mix a bit of black and green to create a bit of darker shade. Black, green, blue, everything I'm mixing together. It has creases over here also because it is a puff sleeve. You have learned puff sleeve, right? So this is puffy here also, and it is having like a balloon structure over here. You can merge a little bit more. Here you can give a little darker because of the shadow. That's it. So now I am just completing with a bit of skin color. So that is done. Have you done this? So quickly, I would love to show some huge volume skirts. So for a quick way, I'm not going to draw a big gown. So I am reducing the size and representing it like very tiny figure. Okay. So for a gown, I will show with a including a croquis. Okay. So first I will just have a head. We learned in different poses we can draw head. Too much tiny is also difficult, so I'll make it a medium sized. So I will not go for a skin color. I will better show the gown so that how the bouncy gown can be rendered. So I will directly go for the garment. I'm taking a bigger brush, a little more bigger. I always use these for the larger areas. Blue and a bit of white I'm mixing for a powder blue effect. Powder blue or little dull blue. So it has a lot of volume. Okay, so it's really bouncy. Now I am showing some layers over this. Taking some more color. I'm having some 2-3 layers. So beneath the layer, I'm having shadow. Taking a bit more color. The fabric is little furry. Just tapping the brush over here like this. Some small strokes I'm making by tapping. This is the hemline. So here it's more of like even. For depth, I'm taking a little black in addition to the color. Here I'm having more of depth. Also here. To show depth, you can use darker tones, and since this is a fur kind of fabric, the creases like the edges are really uneven. So I would love to do like these kind of uneven strokes. Very uneven strokes to give it a natural effect. So now this layering part is done. So I'm giving a little more depth inside these creases. I think one more layer will look nice. So I'm giving one more layer. So this skirt portion is done. This is almost done. So during rendering, don't be afraid, don't hesitate, like trying, experimenting things. So this is the kind of bouncy effect which I wanted to show you guys. You can add a bit of the lighter shade in between so that the fur effect is seen. Taking little lighter shade only. More lighter I need, so I'm mixing more of white. Yeah, this is enough. you want to show a little more of extra depth, since this is a very dense fabric, you can add a bit of black also and show really deep inside here. These areas can be really deep. It's really dense fabric. So by adding black, you can show that. Yeah, so this is almost done. Did you do? How is it going, guys? How is it going? How are you doing? Did you try this effect? Somebody can show me. Hey guys, tell me something.
Students,
Did you try
if you
it
have
out?
done, if you've done any works, just show it in your camera.
Yeah, at least some of you, so that I can just get to know. Is it all going right? Whatever you have tried, you can just show. You have clicked something, right, Catherine? This one, if you want. Can I change the camera to front camera? Is it done? Yes, guys. So let me know, how is it? Did you try? Are you able to achieve any of the rendering part today's? So Catherine, in chat box, can I put the link of a feedback form
Sure, ma'am, sure.
now?
Okay, ma'am.
1 second, I'm just putting it. Yeah. So any doubts, anything to discuss more, please let me know. And be free to ask any questions.
Students, if you have any doubts or queries or any feedback, just you can post it, or I can unmute your mic and speak out.
Yeah, and also show some of the works at least one or two people. It would be nice that I will understand that you were following it and doing it. Please do fill the form, guys. You can paste it into your phone, or take it like copy paste to your any like a notepad or something, like if you have in the phone, or fill it just now. There is nothing, just 2-3 lines to be written, and you can tell how it was your two-day session with me. So it will really help me and boost me a lot. So kindly give the feedback for sure. So don't leave the meeting. Please give the feedback and then ask any questions if you have, and then only leave. So be here for just 5 more minutes. Be here. Yeah, so I am reading the comments here. So lovely to hear. Please do write your genuine feedback in the form I have given. Please take the form from the chat box, everyone. You can write like suggest me anything, or write like if anything was missing, or regarding the topics, the days, like 2 days we covered. So it will help me a lot, and it will really like give me a good insight of how it went. And you people can write how you could really put it on your paper at the same time. Did you get enough time? How was the speed of the class? How was it going? Really understandable, simple, and executable method or not? You can mention whatever you want. And someone just on your cameras and show me at least the glimpses of whatever you have done. Any rough work is fine. Everything like rough is fine. I don't expect like very fine ones, but whatever you have done, just show me like at least 1 or 2 people. And I want you all to execute, like practice. Then it will gradually develop, and you can just swiftly do the sketching. Thank you all. I'm reading the comments. Yeah, but somebody on the video now, so that I can see. I can't see Catherine. Just let me know if somebody's showing their work. Oh, okay. I can see someone is here. Okay, all the studies we done today. And did you do any rendering on the last part of our session?
No, ma'am, I haven't bring the colors, ma'am. So
Fine. Okay, fine. You can practice it later. And did you do yesterday's session also? Did you attend?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope you got all the theory part right. Thanks for showing.
Okay, ma'am.
Anyone else? Who is this coming next? Thank you, guys. If you are in Instagram, my handle you can follow. I have a lot of what you can say. There are mini tutorials there in my channel, YouTube channel, or in my Creatives by Dhanya page. You can see a lot of mini tutorial videos or sample videos there. You can try it out. Step-by-step illustrations are there so that you can try and see the result. Oh, ID, 1 second. I will copy from one place. Let me copy. My active ID is Creatives by Dhanya only. So that is all for dedicated for illustrations. Just copying it, guys. 1 second. Yeah. I have put it here. My YouTube channel name is Creative Music Studio. That's better. Like you can come to my this ID, which I have typed here, Instagram ID. There I have given in the bio. So I have just recently started in YouTube. So there are few videos there, few tutorials there. You can grab that once, and later on I'll be putting a lot more. I have the matter with me, so I'll be gradually putting one by one or two per week or something like that. But in Instagram, there are a lot of free tutorials there. And as I told you, there are like a step-by-step illustrations I have given in watercolor techniques. So those you can utilize very well. So the detailed ones are going to be on YouTube, some more in the coming days. So just utilize whatever you are getting it already there. Then I'll be uploading more and more again. So that page is really dedicated for illustrations. Very regular. I'm just posting within like 2 days. I post once. So you'll be getting a lot of infos there and a lot of inspiration there, like daily basis. And if you can tag me with today's work or yesterday's work, I'll definitely be shout-outing you. Hey guys, show me some more work, no? At least 1 or 2 people can, even on your faces, and like you can just tell me something here if you want. You can just on your video and talk to me here. Just for 2 more minutes, we are here. Even if you don't want to show the work, you can just come and talk to me and go. Catherine, nobody's
Yes,
keeping the videos on.
students, if you have any
Don't
feedback,
be shy,
just
guys.
your video or unmute your audio and just keep it out.
Yeah, at least somebody come and speak so that I can just feel it. I can read your messages, but I can feel it when you speak to me more.
Anyone?
Otherwise, it's like a one-man show, right? I'm only speaking and I'm only showing my face, so I can't see anybody. There are 67 people here. Come on, 1 or 2 people.
Students, they are showing the work, ma'am.
Acha, let me see. Can you highlight?
Yeah, yeah.
Spotlight? Yeah. Okay. Yesterday's work, someone has shown. Anto, Josephine has shown yesterday's work.
Yes, ma'am.
Bhumika also. Okay, I can see it. Okay, good. Yeah, I think yesterday's everyone were doing it, right? Yes. Did you color anything today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, the theory part you did, and okay, so
If you have any feedback, I can just convey her, ma,
sorry.
to the students, ma'am. Students, if you have any feedback, you can just convey to her. And without fail, just fill the feedback form, which is given by her.
I'll put it once more here in the down so that they can just access it easily.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I have just added it once again so that they can access it easily. So you can tell something, Catherine. How was it going? Was it smooth and understandable to the students? How did you feel about it?
Yes, ma'am, it is so easy and too easy techniques to follow for our students.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good
Any
morning,
feedback? Yeah, continue,
Good morning.
ma'am.
Yes, please tell.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Hi. Morning.
Ma'am, this section was very useful and much of interesting, ma'am.
Okay. Nice to know.
We can learn something about sketching, ma'am, fashion illustration, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you for this wonderful section, ma'am. We can enjoy the section, ma'am.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. So this makes my effort really worth. If you are really able to put it on paper, then that's the point of the workshop.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Sorry? Anybody else is coming?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please tell.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this was a wonderful session, ma'am. First of all, fashion illustration is very important for fashion designers to implement their ideas. You have lightened up our illustration methods, ma'am. Thank you for your efforts, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. So which year are you in your studies?
Third year, ma'am. Third year BSc series.
Third year. Okay.
My name is Anto Joseph.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Aunty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
Hello, Dhanya ma'am.
Hi.
Yeah, this is Karan from third year.
Third year. Okay. Tell
Yeah,
Karan, how was it?
thank you for your wonderful workshop, ma'am.
Okay, so happy to hear you.
Yeah,
And
it really
did
helped
you
us to improve our fashion illustration. We
did
learned
you
a lot,
do
ma'am.
did you do in both the days parallelly when I was doing?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Karan.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have anybody have any feedback or any queries? Or shall we wind up the session now?
Yes, I'm done. So I hope even they have filled the forms so that I can understand more. Yeah, and yeah, it was all good. I also enjoyed the session, teaching 2 days, fully the 2 hours that I dedicated. So yeah,
Okay, okay. Students, any more queries or shall we wind up? Okay. Good afternoon. Almost we have come to the end of the session, and it's my honor to thank our chief guest for our endless efforts and skills towards us. And thank you for your time. Thank you, ma'am. And I would place a record on sincere thanks for our correspondent K. Palanisamy Avarkal for granting us permission to execute students' beneficial programs. We are deeply indebted to our beloved principal, Dr. N. Raman, for his non-stop support and motivation in all our endeavors. I sincerely thank our beloved head of the department, Dr. S. Manjula, for guiding us throughout in all the proceedings. Thank you, ma'am. I thank all the faculty members and student participants for making this program a successful one. A final note of thanks to the non-teaching staff and the student and staff in charge for arranging this Zoom meet. Thank you once again, and special and personal thanks to Dhanya ma'am. Thank you for accepting this and working towards our queries, and thank you for your works, ma'am. We loved all the works done by you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. I really thank your officials to arrange this really beneficial workshops for the kids, and I hope this benefit them really a long way, and they'll be able to put these on their regular works, and it smoothens their journey. So I'm so happy to be here, to be a part of your workshops. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank. Yes.